Good morning. I'm Colleen, and this is Darlene, and we are part of the cooking club that's on Caregiving 101. We are so grateful that you've chosen to join us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
As usual, we are attempting to prepare a recipe that hopefully maybe you could prepare with your loved one. So we're trying to make them very simple. We're also trying to keep things very nutritious. As we age or as we're healing, our bodies change, our taste buds change. And especially if you're healing, your body is so committed to doing all the other things that are needed for healing. And unfortunately, the idea of eating something is one of the last things that you want to do. So what we're trying to do is just come up with really nutrient-dense recipes that you can sneak in to your loved one. Try and get some protein, some fat, some fiber, everything all in kind of one bite. So today, our recipe is granola bars.
What a fun snack. I love granola bars.
Actually, I do love granola bars. And you know, I always equate the issues that we have with trying to feed our loved ones to what we come into with our kids. So, again, trying to put in some nutritious things. So the granola bars that I am making, I'm actually making them gluten-free because the recipient, is very sensitive to gluten. Sometimes that causes a lot of inflammation in the system. So you can use, I have got this great King Arthur gluten-free flour. It's fabulous. All you have to do, if your recipe calls for flour, exchange it 1 for 1. So 1 cup of flour is 1 cup of the gluten-free.
Great.
The other thing that you can consider is using almond meal. Almond meal is a great substitute for gluten-free, and it also has a lot of protein in it. So again, one of the things, as you get older, sometimes your systems get a lot more sensitive, your digestive system. Blood sugar tends to spike a little bit more easily. So the more you can balance out your meals and kind of combine all of these nutrients, the more level your blood sugar levels stay, and just the calmer your loved one stays. So,
great. Wonderful.
All right. So today, we're going to do our gluten-free granola bars, and in addition, I'm going to sneak in some fruit. One of the ones that I love are dates. So I basically did about 3/4 of a cup of dried fruit. You can do whatever combination. If you only have raisins on hand, just do raisins. Like I said, I love dates. I actually found this in Target the other day.
I like to date too. But don't tell my husband.
That's right, exactly. You can put whatever you want in these things, preferably something from the kitchen. I found the shampoo granola bars were not cleansing. Okay, so mixed fruit. This is great, already mixed up together. A lot of these things you can find cheaper in your bulk section in your produce. So this is a 1/4 cup of dates, and this is a 1/4 cup of golden raisins.
I like that you always have some great ideas on how to simplify recipes.
I am lazy. Lazy.
No, you're not.
I am lazy. Well, I mean, it's just when you're trying to manage kids and all these other things, and you're trying to take care of your loved one, clean your house, maybe take care of younger kids too, you don't have a lot of time. All right, so this is one of my favorites. This is a great source of fiber. It tastes really good. They're kind of a pain to cut with knives, but this is a dried apple, and you can just use your kitchen scissors and cut it like that. Can you see now? I don't know if that's that. Anyway, so I don't want to bore you with that.
Great idea.
Throw that down there.
Oh, cutting
dried
apple.
Okay,
So boring.
Okay, all my dried fruit mixed up. Now, the other thing, whenever I'm putting fruit into something, like a cake or with granola bars, I like to plump it up a little bit. So what Darlene has been kind enough to do is microwave some water so that it's almost boiling, not quite. And then what we're going to do is just kind of, my hands are clean. I'm going to mix that. And just let that sit for 3 to 5 minutes and just let it soften up, especially if your loved one has maybe a sensitive bite. You don't want them having to rip into the granola bar. So, anyways. So basically how you do this recipe, it's super easy, as I said. You just throw what you have on hand. I'm going to give you some basics that you need. You definitely need to have the flour.
Okay.
So we're going to put in a cup of flour.
Gluten-free flour.
Yep,
You can use regular if you'd like.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we've got 2 cups of oats.
Quick oats or regular oats?
Regular, like what you buy in the big canister. You
Great.
can also buy the steel cut oats
okay.
that are the trend right
Nice.
now. But they've got a little bit more texture, a little bit more flavor to them. But you know what? The generic big tin of oats is great too.
Wonderful.
Now, oats is a source of soluble fiber, which I didn't realize this until I did some research. But fiber is not only good for getting the poo-poo train going.
Poop. You said poo-poo? Poo-poo train.
Getting the poo-poo train out of the station. Exactly.
Pew.
That's actually Professional chefs here, ladies and gentlemen. All the ones and ones of our viewers are going to be enjoying our discussion. I feel like I should put my glasses on.
Okay.
All right, should be cooking with nerds.
We can talk about food all the time if we wanted to, but let's move on.
All right, so fiber, soluble fiber. This is what I learned, is that the fiber is really good not only for keeping the poo-poo train moving, but it's also really good at helping you regulate your blood sugar. Again,
you're going to say regulate your poop.
Well, we already talked about that.
Good.
And then also regulating the sugar, and then also it really helps with lowering the bad cholesterol.
Important, very important.
Right, exactly. So again, it's about balancing your diet, kind of eating things in combination to sort of help to not shock your system, for lack of a better word.
Great.
So no
Wonderful.
sugar spikes, whatever. Okay,
Good.
so that's one dry. Now we're going to add some brown sugar.
Nice.
I believe that is about a half a cup of brown sugar in there.
All right.
That's going to be our sugar, soft, yummy. And then we're going to put in about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And so this is all of my dry ingredients right now. And then I measured this little thing. Love this. I know. All right, so this is my little baby grater. So I put some cinnamon in here, but I was just going to, this for something different. And maybe something you might be able to have your loved one do, but just a little bit of whole nutmeg. You cannot believe the difference in how great this smells. And you just do a little bit.
Well, smells and the taste too.
Yeah.
And everything is better when it's super fresh. It's freshly grated.
Exactly.
Cinnamon, nutmeg.
And look how much I got.
Wonderful.
Look how much I got. I only did that like 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
That's a lot. I know.
Amazing.
So I've had this whole nutmeg in my cabinet for like a year.
Wow.
I know. It's
That
good.
lasted
It's all
a long
good.
Still fresh.
Fell on the floor.
It's freshly ground. Wonderful.
Freshly ground. It's delicious. Really. Oh,
Jinx,
same
buy
way.
me a Coke.
You're right. I'm going to put that over there with all
Okay,
your other junk
thanks.
there. Okay. I mean, delicious, nutritious food. Okay, so that's all of our dry ingredients. Now what we're going to do is do our wet ingredients, which is going to be our half a cup of honey. And so we've already measured out a half a cup of oil.
So can I put this in?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. It's up to you. Doing a half a cup of oil, half a cup of honey.
This is great. Like a pure, local honey is best.
Yes.
For
Why is
wherever
local
you
honey
leave.
best? Do you know?
For
I thought you were getting ready to say it.
For allergies and inflammation,
Exactly.
which is really
Exactly.
important. When you're local, everything is great.
Yes,
Including your
absolutely.
vegetables in season. So a half a
And
cup.
supporting your local economy. Yes. So that's actually from the farmer's market.
Okay. And it's good for
we got?
your immune system as well, especially for allergies. Local honey is actually wonderful for it.
You know what? I
Your
just remembered.
source of raw honey is great too.
All right, so here is the other thing. I know I already had you do your dry ingredients, but these are some other things that we can also pack in. Basically, a half a cup of one other dry ingredients. It's up to you. You may do whole wheat flour. You can do this. I'm going to do wheat germ, which is a great source of folate, which is a good anti-inflammatory. Another good source of fiber. So I'm going to just do about a 1/4 of a cup of that.
Okay. Well, what I like about this recipe, Colleen, is that you really can put anything that you like in it, and if you need to
Again,
do,
as long as it's from your kitchen.
if somebody likes raisins and somebody else doesn't, then you can actually split the recipe and put half with raisins or half without or whatever you want. But if you're just tuning in to Caregiving 101, thanks for joining us.
This is our cooking club. All right, so then I did a 1/4 cup of that, and then I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of flaxseed, which is a really good source of omega-3, and then also a great source of fiber. 2 tablespoons, you've got 16% of your fiber.
Wow.
Now, with fiber, when you introduce fiber, you need to be careful and do it slowly.
Okay.
It's recommended that we get about 20 to 30 grams every day. But, you know, some of us are more sensitive than others. Yes.
I heard that not everybody
says 20% fiber in the label. I can't leave the house. So
Stay home. That's what you've been doing every time I don't see Colleen. She had too much fiber that day. Or the night before.
Sorry, I had oatmeal. Anyway. So you do have to be careful, and you need to make sure that you drink enough water to offset that and to kind of keep things moving.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so we're good? All right, so we are going to add our honey.
I did that.
We did that. We're going to add beat up an egg there.
Okay.
And then, I don't want to rush you.
Oh, sorry.
So if you do add the egg there, and
Watch this really fast. Okay.
then I'm going to just grab this molasses. Sorry to block your view there. This is blackstrap molasses, which is not super easy to find. The molasses taste delicious, so if you can't find blackstrap, that's okay. The blackstrap is really good for iron. This one has 25% of iron and 20% of calcium in 1 tablespoon.
That's so good for you.
Right. So if you're running low on iron, that's the way to go. So I'm just going to, can I just dump that in there?
Sure.
I'm just going to do a couple tablespoons.
Great.
All right, good.
Delicious.
Now, I do want to give credit where credit is due. This recipe I initially modified was found on All Recipes. Good. Thank you. Was found on allrecipes.com, and it was called Playgroup Granola Bars.
Aww.
Yeah. So,
like
but it has been a huge hit. I bring it a lot for sporting events. You know, a lot of these kids now are in these club volleyball teams, and you're there for the whole day, and you need a nutritious snack to give them. All right, so if you see, our fruit has gotten really nice and soft.
It has totally plumped up, too.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. We're good?
Yes.
I might keep a little bit. You can drain it.
Well, and this is good to take to doctor's visits, or if you have a long car ride somewhere, just to have an extra snack.
Yeah.
It's not going to go bad. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, and so that's what's nice about this, just to take along. If someone is feeling that their blood sugars are going a little bit low, or you can't get to a restaurant, or your doctor's appointments are running late, that's what's nice to have.
You can also mix that with your hands too, which is something your loved one can do. It's always nice to kind of just have something tactile.
Okay, well, let me go wash my hands and then I'll do that. How about that?
Sure. Here, wash his dishes later. All right, so what we've done is we've preheated the oven, and when you
it's like tomatoes, like diced tomatoes from our
the hater, I'm the diced tomato hater. We preheated our oven, and then I have lined the pan with some parchment paper.
Okay, we're moving on. I'm mixing it.
They sell these
nice.
great sheets. There's that. You can do that. If you want to have a little bit of an overhang on it, that's great, because actually when you're all done, you can lift it out and it's easier to cut.
Okay.
So you only need to cook these for about 18 to 22 minutes is what I've narrowed it down to.
I'm having fun.
That's the accountant in me.
Okay, 18 to 22 minutes.
18 to 22 minutes
Okay.
around that area.
What am I looking for?
You're going to look to see if the edges are kind of golden.
Great.
And then that's when you pull it out. And they'll be a little bit soft. These are not like the granola bars you buy in the store that are crunchy.
I'm ready.
Yes. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to dump that on
Which
there.
makes sense, because then you could just spread it out with your hands.
Right. Now they
smells really good.
They do cut easier when they're still warm. So cool them for maybe about 15-20 minutes. Lift this out and then just cut them and put them in an airtight container, and you are good to go.
And so if you want them thinner, does it matter about thickness or thin, or no?
Not a bit.
You can do whatever you want?
No,
Okay.
you can spread it out. I mean, it'll take a little bit longer to cook it if it's thicker, but I think you'll be okay. Don't get your wedding ring in there.
No, that's too late. It's clean.
I was like the baby in the king cake. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. And again, your loved one can do this too. All of our recipes are very, very forgiving. There are very few on our docket that are very precise measurements. So again, put in what your loved one loves to eat, what's going to move, what's going to sell in your household. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for
breakfast.
This is great. Yeah, breakfast. That's a good one too. You know, when you're quickly running, you're on the go, or if it's a late night and you've had a rough night and you just kind of need some little bit of energy.
Right. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, it's funny because I made a batch on Sunday.
Okay.
And they're back there. I'm going to show you all the final product. But I had put them in the car to bring over here today, and my kids were all like, I would say I would help you, but I want it. All right, so we're going to pop it in the oven. We're going to do this for 18 to 22 minutes. And when they come out, we're going to cut them, and they're going to look like this.
Wow.
Ta-da! So yeah.
Delicious.
That's what we're doing. So anyways, we hope that this has been helpful. We're, again, so grateful that you tuned in. It's Caregiving 101. Please take a look at the website. It's a tremendous resource for several things that you could use for your loved one, as far as just your own mental health, their mental health, exercises, crafts, activities, cooking. I mean, hopefully that we are successful in trying to make your life easier. Yeah. So thanks again for coming and joining us, and we hope we've been of help, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Enjoy your snacks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.